to. Why don't we go to Major League Baseball? And it was a strange occurrence this weekend in Chicago for that Cubs-Brewers series. There was a game rained out on Saturday where it never really rained. Game was canceled. Grounds crew, the umpires, I guess, decided to call it. Craig Counsell, the manager of the Brewers, was not happy with the decision. First time our players were treated for sunburn after a rainout, he said. Tom Haudricourt reporting that on Twitter. Well, the Cubs got the final word in Sunday's game, scoring 13 runs. Chris Bryant had a couple dingers, and they won the final game of the series, which ended up being just a 2-game set over the weekend.
Yeah.
Strange. Did Craig Counsell's words, you think, motivate the Cubs in any way, or should we pump the brakes?
Nah, let's pump the brakes. Maybe there was a little bulletin board material. I think more motivation for the Cubs is their own crappy play. Looking up at the Brewers in the standings. I think, one little I'm sure they probably understood a little bit Counsell's comments. Sometimes with these weather patterns and all the technology of seeing where a storm's going to come, the minute it's going to hit, the minute it's going to go, we feel like we can preemptively say, nah, game's off, it's gonna get crazy, and then it never gets crazy. I mean, even, all these Dopplers and everything can be wrong, too. So I'm sure Rizzo and the boys on the other side, Joe Madden and the rest of the Cubs, saw that and were like, Craig's got a point. Maybe they're a little pissed. No team really likes to keep putting games the back end of the schedule, because we know those dog days of August, and as things get tough and you have 29 games in a 30-day stretch, double headers mixed in there, it can get tough. But I think way more so the fact that the Cubs are hovering around 500, the fact that they're not hitting, and that they feel like they need this wake-up call offensively and as a team was more motivation than any sunburn comment that Counsell had to say.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It wasn't really even trash talk towards the Cubs. If anything, it's towards the Cubs grounds crew.
Right. And the umpire, who's ever called it, it's not Joe Madden's call. It's not the Cubs' call to say they didn't want to play.
Right.
So, I think the Cubs are due a little bit of a waking from their slumber. And we saw a little bit of it today. We'll see if they can keep it going to start next week.